Hey, this is Alicia,
This is Melissa.
and this is Dark.
Dark. There's Craig.
Hey, Craig. People are gonna be like, "Who's Craig?"
Oh, Craig.
Craig. Classic Craig.
Classic Craig.
Our lifeline, our support system.
Our everything.
Without him, we would not be able to record.
Craig.
I was muted.
Oh my god.
I was sitting here talking, and just like, why isn't my little thing not lighting up? And then I looked down, and my mute button was on, and I was just like,
Good job.
yeah, that's that's a Sunday for you."
So how was your week?
Horrible. Okay, so it
Oh,
wasn't horrible, but I mean, like, it was exhausting. We, for those of you who don't know what I do for a living, I work processing veterans insurance claims, and yeah, we got a lot in this week, and it's been not fun at all. So I've been busy. I worked 53 and a half hours this week and have to do it all over again next week.
but don't your hours change this week?
Oh, they changed this past week. Like I was supposed
Oh.
to work I was supposed to work like early morning on Monday and Tuesday to like 6, so like 7:30 to 6, and then um Wednesday and Thursday I'm supposed to get off at 1 and then 4 on Friday, but because of the mandatory overtime, I wasn't getting off of work until 6, 7 o'clock. So yeah.
And that I work for a company that goes to schools and takes senior pictures. I
Mm.
worked 47 hours. So these notes got done in a day.
Yeah, the struggle of hosting a podcast and also trying to work your job and, you know,
Having a 9 to 5
yeah,
and children.
and living and house and stuff. It's not an easy balance, but at least I think the way I look at it is the podcast like takes you away from that for a little bit, so it kind of gives you a little bit of a break.
So this story this week I had to take a break from because it was pretty messed up. It's pretty messed up.
Well, hit me with it. I'm excited.
Well, I am doing the however you want to pronounce it. I've heard it pronounced several different ways. The LaLaurie Mansion
Yep.
or LaLaurie,
Yes.
LaLaurie, however you want to pronounce it, in New Orleans, Louisiana.
Good old Delphine.
Good old Delphine. All right, so let's get this started.
Sounds great.
This is gonna be this part's gonna be funny. You're gonna laugh. Marie Delphine Macarty was born March 19th, 1787.
Are you kidding me?
No, which again is Alicia's birthday. In New Orleans, Louisiana, as one of 5 children.
Yeah, that's great. That just drives my point home a little bit more every single day.
Yes, she was born on your birthday. Both of Delphine's parents were prominent in the town's European Creole community. They were trigger warning. I have to do this now.
Ooh.
This is going to talk about slaves and what were done to them.
Yeah,
So
it's gonna.
it's going to be bad. Yeah. They owned many slaves. They had parties every seemed like every day. At the age of 4 years old, the Haitian Revolution erupted in 1791. Her uncle was murdered by his own slaves in 1791. On June 11th, 1800, at the age of 13, Delphine married her first husband, Don Ramon, a high ranking Spanish officer. and that was at the age of 13. He was in his 20s, I do
Gotcha.
believe. In 1804, Don Ramon was appointed the position of casual general for Spain in the New Orleans territory. While on the way to Madrid with Delphine, who was pregnant at the time, he suddenly died in Havana. So that's husband number one.
Na, 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 na. He broke my heart
My
in
heart in
Havana.
Havana. I was thinking the same thing.
Uh,
So, and that was husband number one. Husband number
mm,
two, in June of 1808, she married John Blanc, a banker, merchant, lawyer, and legislator, who she had four more children by, and he died in 1816.
did they know how any of these died? Like, or is it just
No,
just
they
because of the times?
just because of the times,
Okay.
they died. Her first husband died just suddenly in Havana. They have no idea how he died. And then her second husband just kind of dropped it.
Mm, okay.
On June 25th, 1825, which all of her weddings happened in June. All of her marriages happened in June. Delphine, yeah, which is kind of odd.
Okay.
Delphine married her third and final husband, physician Leonard Louis Nicholas LaLaurie, who was 20 years her junior. She was robbing the cradle a little bit.
Get it, girl.
Get that cougar action. Wow. In 1831, she bought the property at 1140 Royal Street. In 1832, a two-story mansion was built there with an attached slave quarters, which is the mansion that we're going to be talking about.
Okie doke.
November 16th, which is my son's birthday, 1832, Delphine petitioned the courts for separation from her husband from bed and board. She claimed he treated her in such a manner as to render their living together unsupportive.
Okay.
Yep.
AKA he was a jerk.
AKA he was a jerk, and her son and two daughters backed up this claim. So their marriage wasn't all it was cracked up to be.
At least she didn't kill him.
Not this one.
Yeah, exactly.
We don't know about the other two.
Exactly.
Her neighbors started noticing slaves dying under suspicious circumstances. Around 25 to 30 slaves
Jeez.
just started kind of disappearing.
The fact that they were
Um,
actually paying attention to that, though, that actually makes me feel
well,
good about people. You know what I mean?
back
Like,
back then, there was a law in Louisiana that prohibited cruelty to the slaves. So they were investigated because they noticed that they were disappearing and just kind of dying under suspicious causes. And there were rumors going around that she was mistreating them behind closed doors, but in public, she would be rather nice to them. So she was trying to keep up her facade.
of course.
They were investigated and found that they were being mistreated. They were fined $300, which is $9,477 today. Yes, I did the math.
I'm glad you did, because that ain't happening.
That inflation, though.
Mhm. Cost of living,
And
man.
told, and they were told to take the remainder of their slaves to auction. Here's the fucked up part.
That just gives me the heebie-jeebies. I'm sorry. Just
Well,
the thought of having to sell another human is just...
here's the fucked up part. Delphine got her friends and family to actually go buy the slaves back. And
Why does this not surprise me?
she purchased them back from their friends and family.
I don't even know. Like, okay, so here's my question about that, and I don't know if you have the answer to this or not, but like, they were monitoring her and what she
Yes.
was doing, her activities.
Yes.
Like, how was it even legal for her to even purchase them from her family members if they were keeping that close of an eye on her. Like I just
Um, because she wasn't told she couldn't have them. She
uh
was just told to take the ones that she had to auction. She was never told that she could not have any more.
that's where they fucked up.
Yes, that is where they fucked up.
Gotcha. Okay.
In April of 1834, while hosting one of their many parties, which they hosted parties almost every night. And if you were on this party list, then you were like the shit.
Gotcha.
One of the stories of how cruel Delphine was, and I'm calling her Delphine because she did not like her name, so I'm calling her Delphine. The reason why one of the many stories of her cruelty was she was walking down one of the hallways in the mansion and saw two little hands getting like fried oysters, and they were her daughter's hands, and they were shoving them in their pockets to feed the undernourished slaves. And Delphine actually made them empty out their pockets and heeled them with her feet into the ground and said, "Do you want them to kill you and me both? If they get strong enough, they will kill us all."
Oh my God.
And then went and chained her 70-year-old cook, because I hate using that S word, cook,
Mm-hmm.
to the stove with a 10-foot chain. And that's where she remained. She slept on the floor. She wasn't allowed to go to the quarters. She
Mm.
stayed in the kitchen.
That, yeah. No, 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 no. No. Don't like it. Don't like it at all.
Um, and that's not even the worst of it.
Mm.
Oh, it gets worse. The kitchen was caught on fire by said cook. Um, and everyone got out of the house and continued the party in the streets. The waiters would come out with hors d'oeuvres and be like, nothing's going on. It's fine. And continue the party
My
while the
God.
house was burning. The firefighters put out the fire, and the cook was actually still alive and
Oh,
confessed to
wow.
setting the house on fire.
Mm-hmm.
She said it because she says she did it because of one, how cruel Delphine was. Two, she said, "Don't go upstairs. No one ever comes back from going upstairs."
Oh, God. I don't like that.
Um, Delphine tried to keep the firefighters out of the attic, but to no avail. What they found in the attic was truly awful. Here is where the trigger warnings come in. If, whew, if you get sick very easily, you might want to skip a couple minutes. 7 slaves were chained to the walls. Some of them were on makeshift operating tables. Some had their intestines knotted around their naked waists.
Ooh, ooh, no. Mm-mm. Gross.
Body parts and heads were scattered around. Feces were stuffed inside of mouths and sewn shut.
Oh,
Eyelids were sewn shut or scooped out. There was a woman that was known as the Crab Woman. Delphine broke her arms and her legs in such a way and set them to make it to where she resembled a crab,
my God.
and put her in what would now be known as like a dog kennel.
Oh my God. Oh,
Um,
ew.
some were skinned alive.
Wha-
There was a torso with no arms and no legs. Now, mind you, all these people are still alive.
Oh my God, they're still alive through
They're
this?
still alive through all of this. There was a man or a woman, I can't remember which one, with a hole drilled in his head and a wooden spoon sticking out of it so she can scramble their brains.
Huh.
And there was another man who had a
Oh,
hole in his head that maggots were living in it,
oh,
and
oh
he
God.
was still alive.
See, I can handle, I can handle some things. There's two things that I cannot handle. Anytime I hear about people being disemboweled and maggots.
Uh,
Huh.
Fingernails were torn off, toenails were torn off. She really did not like men. Some genitals were cut off.
My God.
She she did some fucked up shit. And
Yeah.
again, these people were still alive.
Oh my God. No, 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 no. I don't
Maggots
like
in
it.
someone's head, and he was still alive.
That just, well, I really did enjoy my red beans and rice this morning.
Not so much now.
Not so much anymore.
Yeah, that's why I said skip a couple minutes.
And I was eating red beans and rice in honor of this story, and now I'm regretting it.
I told you it was bad.
I know, but geez, oh my God, like these are people.
She, yes, they are. They're
You
people,
know,
and it gets slightly worse. When they were brought out of the attic, they were put into the sheriff's office and put on display in the jail cells.
they exploited them?
Yes, about 2,000 people came and saw what Delphine had done, and a mob formed, burning down and destroying the mansion.
Well, good for them, but geez, that
Yeah,
was.
about 2,000 people came and saw this. And I think two of the slaves died as they were being brought down. Only two.
That that shocks me.
The
Like,
rest survived.
can you imagine having to live after that? I wouldn't want to.
No, no. But they burnt down the house.
Good
There's that.
on them for that.
Delphine and her family ran to France, where she never returned, or at least so we think.
Right.
The circumstances of her death are unclear. There is, I think it's in one of the cemeteries in New Orleans, there is a stone that in French says, "Here lies Marie Delphine Macarty LaLaurie,
Hmm.
died in Paris," and it gives dates, but no one really knows how she died or if she really did die in Paris. Some say she came back to New Orleans, so no one really knows.
Yeah. I mean, if she did, I mean, back then it was really hard to really know for sure because, they didn't really keep up with that kind of stuff. That's
Uh,
just, mm,
yeah, yeah. And she ran to France with her husband, and her two daughters as the mob was forming. They said she went down to South America and then up to Paris.
gotcha.
Over the decades, the building has been a public high school, a conservatory, an apartment building, a bar, and a furniture store. There is a story about the furniture store where black goo would just be all over everything, and
Necroplasm.
pretty much. And the owner thought it was just like some kids vandalizing his stuff.
Yeah.
So he waited up with a shotgun and went to turn on the lights, and all of a sudden the goo was all over it.
Ew. I would not be cleaning that up.
Um, Funny fact, in April of 2007, Nicolas Cage, yes, that Nicolas Cage, bought the house for $3.5 million, but 2 years later, it went into foreclosure.
Wow.
Yes, Nick Cage bought it.
Wonder why he bought it.
They said because he just had a thing for old New Orleans houses,
Okay. I can see that.
and it's one of the most quote unquote haunted places in New Orleans.
I never would have known
Um,
Nicolas Cage to be a paranormal guy.
well, he's weird.
That's true.
He's a weird guy. In the 1900s, the one one guy dropped dead days after buying it. One went to an asylum, one was murdered, and one just dropped dead, all after purchasing the building.
Yeah, it's probably full of like some really bad things. I mean, that.
Well, funny you should mention that, because that was a good segue
Oh, yay! Segue!
into here are the ghosts.
Yay!
Enough with the history.
Hey,
Here
history's
are the
cool.
ghosts.
I love
Here are the
history.
ghosts.
Okay.
There is a little girl. Her name is Leah. The story goes she was brushing Delphine's hair and hit a snag and pulled her hair back. And Delphine got really, really pissed off and started chasing her with a whip.
Oh my God.
Leah tried to get out of the windows, but all the windows were shut. So
Hmm.
she went up to the roof, and they don't know if she was pushed or if she jumped. Leah was 12 years old when she
Wow.
died. She's been seen crying by the fountain where her body fell. She's been seen falling off the roof. She's also been seen just kind of chilling on the roof. You hear tortured screams, obviously.
Well, yeah, I would think that would be a recurring memory there for that place
Rattling chains from the attic and what used to be the kitchen.
that I can see.
A black man has appeared and just attacked somebody. Because right now it is a private residence. So you can't even go and take a tour at this place. It is a private residence. Um, Hallucinations of pets being butchered, children being attacked by a woman with a whip. When it was a conservatory, it was a conservatory for African American girls, and they would come up with lashes on like their arms and stuff. And the teachers would ask who did this, and they would literally describe Delphine.
Oh my God.
Um, Burning flesh, scratches on the ground that would just appear. They would hear it, turn around, and then visibly watch scratches just appear.
Wow.
A tenant was going upstairs and a black mass blocked his way, and he went to like push it out of the way, and his hand just went through it.
Yeah, I think that would freak me out the most. It's when you think it's somebody and then no, it's not. And you're like, well, shit. Time
Well,
for me to
shit.
leave.
Well, at one point it was a luxury apartment. So just imagine going to your apartment, going upstairs and being like, hey, move. And you're pushing something, think you're going to push somebody out of the way and your hand just goes through them.
No, no. See, that's just not cool.
No, 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 no. I think the fuck not.
No.
A pale black haired woman will choke you in your sleep, but she's followed by another ghost who will try to stop her.
Gotcha.
So there's just two ghosts, one that will choke you, one that will try to stop her.
I'm team second ghost.
I am team second ghost. Maimed apparitions will show up showing your wounds, showing you their wounds.
Well, yeah. I mean,
So you may get the crab lady showing you her broken arms.
okay, see, that's just the stuff of nightmares. Can you imagine just like chilling
No,
out and all of a sudden this crab woman comes walking towards you? No, nope.
absolutely not. Or like just there was one who was just a torso and a head.
God,
Like
no.
she had cut off his legs and his arms.
Oh no, 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 no. No, see,
No,
Christine,
no.
Christine over at and that's why we drink. She has this thing about torsos, and
Yes,
I
she
can
does.
understand that, and I can totally understand
Yeah,
that.
M has a thing for feet.
Yeah, and it's just like,
But yeah. So
ugh.
just someone coming up and showing you the fact that they have no arms and no legs.
Yeah,
In
no,
a ghost form.
nope, I'm good.
Delphine herself will watch you sleep.
I don't like that. First, I don't like her already. And second of all, I don't like it when people watch me sleep. It's creepy.
There's a replay of a man jumping or being pushed out of the third story window, and that window is actually still concreted. They never fixed it. They just boarded it up. And they left it that way.
Well, yeah, because that fixes everything.
And this was back in like forever ago. And when they rebuilt it, they just kept that window boarded up. So you can still see, like, when you watch Coven, American Horror Story Coven, you can still see the window boarded up. Or when you look at pictures of the mansion, you could still see that window boarded up.
Yeah, I was actually
And
gonna bring that up for the show about how they portrayed her because seems pretty accurate after your description.
and there's a legend. We're all about legends.
Oh yeah,
That says Delphine made a deal with the Marie Laveau herself for a son
yeah, I
because
could
she
see
had
that.
all girls and her husband wanted a son. So she made a deal with the voodoo queen of New Orleans herself.
Marie Laveau.
You never make a deal with Marie Laveau.
Mm-mm.
No, no.
Nope.
No, 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 no. Mm.
It could be worse. She could have made a deal with Papa Legba, but that's a story for another day.
That is a whole nother. Um, and honestly, other than American Horror Story Coven, which they apparently portrayed her very, very well, Kathy Bates apparently did a very good job.
She did amazing as
Um,
Delphine.
only one TV show was allowed to investigate this place, and that was Portals to Hell.
No way. I would have thought it'd been Ghost Adventures.
Nope, Ghost Adventures is not allowed. Ghost Hunters was not allowed. Um, Katrina said that she's been trying to get in there for 10 years.
That's crazy.
And only Portals to Hell is the first and only place or show that has been
Hmm.
allowed to investigate this place.
That's
So
kind of cool, though. Like, what kind of accolades do you have to have in order for them to trust you to do that? Like, that
it's
says a
Jack
lot.
Osborne.
Yeah, that's true.
That's it's the Prince of Darkness's son.
Yeah.
I'm surprised he didn't bring Ozzy with him for this
Yeah.
one.
Love me some Ozzy.
I do love some Ozzy. We were talking about that the other day because there's a part in Portals to Hell where he's talking to his daughters, or Jack's
Mhm.
talking to his daughters on the phone, and Sharon pops up,
Mhm.
and I just go Sharon, and Josh just started laughing at me because he was like, "I love that. He's the only guy I know that that speaks English but still needs subtitles." Which is
Yeah,
very God, I miss that show.
I miss it too. That show was the best. Oh man.
God, I miss that show. Okay, so Portals to Hell. They saw a figure in a chair using a 3D camera.
Mhm.
They got the EVPs of. They asked the question, "How many are there?" They got the answer 9.
Okay.
Did you die by Madame LaLaurie? They got yes.
Mm.
There were growls in the old slave quarters. When asked, "What is your name?" They got LaLaurie, and then they got a lot of hurt. Just that sentence, a lot of hurt.
Oh yeah, definitely. For sure.
There was a figure walking around the slave quarters that was actually blocking out candles, like light from candles,
Mhm.
and you can watch the candles go out and come back into focus.
Oh wow.
Um, there was knocking while they were playing with a Ouija board. Hmm.
Yeah.
We all know how I feel about Ouija boards.
Ouija boards. No.
Jack and Katrina sat in the what was the parlor
Mhm.
and were playing with a Ouija board, and there was knocking, and one of the candles went out by itself. You actually watch it just go out. No one blew on it. No one was near it. It just went out.
Yeah.
And Jack even asked the producer, "Did you blow that out?" She's like, "No, I was looking at you."
Touch that.
And Jack lit it and was like, "There's no way that this should have gone out." And when he relit it, it was fine. It just went out.
Mm. It's very hard to make candles do that on their own too. Like,
Yes, you got it. And it was one of those 7-day candles.
oh yeah, yeah. That's definitely difficult.
Yes. That's one of the most difficult ones to just go out on its own.
Sometimes you have to use like one of those little snuffers or else it won't
Yes.
go out. Crazy.
There was knocking in the slave quarters when Jack was asking questions. He would ask a question and they would knock once for yes and then not answer anything for no.
Mm.
Katrina got dizzy when she was going from one room to another. The kitchen door would just slam on its own, or you could watch the knob turn and open on its own. So the pantry door, which they think is where the slaves would walk in from one room and serve the family in the dining room.
Gotcha.
Uh, a little girl who I think is Leah. They've seen a little girl looking out the window, and they said it's just a little girl in a white dress. There's a picture of Leah that has been caught, and a black mass at the foot of the bed that has two sets of eyes.
Two sets of eyes, not just one.
No, It almost looks like one is holding on to, like, holding the other down.
Ew.
It's just a black mass. It's just a big black mass and it has two sets of eyes.
Bad enough having to see that stuff, but then they have two sets of eyes. It's just no, I don't like it. Don't
And
like it
that was
at all.
short and sweet and to the point, and that was the LaLaurie mansion.
Yeah, you were mentioning how they portrayed her in Coven, and it was just funny. Like Jessica Lange's character has such disdain for uh Delphine, and the way that she treated her, it was just the best. Oh my God, I loved everything about that. Um,
I
and
need to watch it because
you too,
I've been told that I would love Coven
you would. It is so good.
for reasons.
Yeah, yeah, you would love it for reasons. And it's just the like you said, Kathy Bates. Like she's an amazing actress as it is. You know, like she's very versatile. And the way that she portrayed her, like I know it had to make her uncomfortable, but she's always up to a challenge, and she did so well. Um,
Yeah,
Angela
because
Bat, yeah,
Delphine was a work of art. She
yeah,
was a she was a piece of shit.
yeah,
Let's be
she was,
real.
yeah, she definitely was,
She was a piece
and
of shit. She she did some very she did a lobotomy before lobotomies were a thing. Like
well,
scrambling brains with a wooden spoon.
yeah, and see the thing about it is too, like they actually combined her character with another famous countess. I'm trying to remember her name, and it is
The
gonna
Blood Countess?
yeah, the Blood Countess. They combined her with the Blood Countess.
Hold on.
And
I know her name. Um Elizabeth Bathory.
yeah, they combined her with Delphine's character by they actually portrayed her to use the slave's blood to keep her looking young
Mm.
because her husband had a wandering eye apparently in the
Yes.
show. And
Well, no,
so
he did. He was a piece of shit too.
yeah. And so they portrayed him as, like kind of a hoe. And he
Use a
use
hoe.
a hoe.
Oh.
So she was very jealous of all the younger girls, so she was trying to figure out a way to make herself look younger. And in the process of like beheading or killing one of her slaves, she got a little bit of their blood on her face, and she realized how it made her skin glow. And
Okay,
so,
which my son's father is an independent wrestler and he's had several bloody faces. And I can actually vouch for like the next day his face would be so soft.
okay, that's a little disturbing, but I
It would like it's disturbing as shit, but it would. It like after he would bleed for a match, his skin would be so soft.
so yeah, she found that that
I
was a
would be
thing.
like, this is disgusting. Why? Why? Why does this have to be the thing?
Well,
Uh,
she started basically killing the slaves in the show for their blood so she could use her uh blood ritual in her face.
well, the story with Marie Laveau is that she wanted a son and they did this serpent spell where a serpent crawled all over Delphine and it became the devil baby of New Orleans, where it had actually had horns and like a grayish skin. And when it cried, you could hear it all over the city because it had this kind of high pitched wail.
Yeah.
And they ended up killing the baby and burying it on the property. So another story is that you can actually hear like a baby crying.
Yeah, and
You can
it's
hear the
funny.
wail of this baby.
Right, and then whenever you're talking about the comparison to Coven, their story was the fact that one of the other girls was trying to have a baby, and she went to Marie Laveau to try to get her to help her with it, and they actually showed that scene of the fertility scene where
Mm-hmm.
they were, but she didn't actually go through with it because her mother was Laveau's sworn enemy. So, um,
Well, yeah, the Marie Laveau did not like uh Delphine's husband. So that's why she kind of tricked the spell a little bit
yeah, yeah, I can see that. I can
as
definitely see that.
a punishment because he apparently already had a son with a slave on the other side of New Orleans
Not surprising.
and didn't want to claim that son.
Yeah, yeah,
So Delphine wanted to give him, and Delphine didn't know this, but Marie Laveau did.
gotcha. Yeah, that would make sense then.
So
But yeah, I just
there's a little tea for you.
a little spilling of the tea.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I mean, I think they did a very good comparison on the show versus what you've said, and the there are some differences, which I mean, of course, obviously, there's always going to be some differences, creative rights
License.
and everything. Yeah, but honestly, I think you should watch it because I really do think you would love it. And after you watch that, skip over everything and go directly to Apocalypse because it's basically Coven Part 2, essentially.
Ah,
Yeah, and this one's actually, I mean, there's going to be some things that you're going to be confused about, especially if you haven't watched Murder House.
that
But
was first season, right?
yeah, that was the first season.
Yes, I've
But
seen the first season.
okay, well then you should be fine. But yeah, it's really good. And yeah,
Yeah, no,
so
I've seen first season, second season, but the second season, I was just like, this is stupid. So I just quit watching it. And then everyone's like, Melissa, you would love Coven.
yep,
For reasons you would love Coven.
you would definitely love it. And I
For
sat
those,
Travis down.
okay, so for the reasons is I'm Wiccan.
So am I. Wow,
So
what a
that's
coincidence.
hence why we would love Coven.
Mm-hmm.
I just came out the broom closet.
I'm so proud of you.
We just came out the broom closet on our podcast.
Yeah, we
And everyone already knows, so it's fine.
yeah, it's fine. The majority of people who listen to it are like, we knew that. Come on now.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. So, but um, I like the just the portrayal of everything on there. It is probably one of the closest stories that can pretty much relate uh to Wicca and to being a witch, but I don't know. If you haven't watched it, go watch it. You won't regret it. And I while you're at it, also watch Hotel because eventually, I would love for us to cover Cecil Hotel. I know we talked about it before, but there's just so much to it. Um, and it's just
That's
such
going
a
to
good
be a
story.
two-parter.
That's gonna be a two-parter. Melissa's gonna take on the spooky, scary, paranormal stuff, and I'm gonna talk about all the true crime stuff associated with the Cecil Hotel. And yeah, that's gonna be
That's like we were talking about the devil made me do it case.
yeah,
That
yeah.
might be a two-parter too, because let's be real. It's both true crime and paranormal, so
It is exactly, and we were talking about The Conjuring 3, and I was like, yeah, it was good, but I'm mad.
yeah. Yeah.
I'm mad because I didn't cover his trial, and to me, that was okay. Granted, I mean they had to do it because of again creative licensing and trying to get viewers and stuff, but there was so much to that story that they didn't even tell, and I was really frustrated by the fact that they didn't even bring up the trial and how it was just so crazy and first of its kind. And so yeah, we're definitely gonna work into that one for it to be a half paranormal, half true crime because of the fact that it should have been both in the movie, in my opinion.
Oh, definitely.
But you know, it's The Conjuring, and they're gonna take creative licensing with it and do what they want to with it. But it was good. It was good. It wasn't the best one of the three, but it was good.
No. Well, that was the fourth one.
Was it the fourth one?
Was wasn't it? Yes, because the nun. The nun was the third one.
I thought that was just kind of just the nun.
No, no, that was part of the Conjuring.
Yeah. I mean, if you include that and all the Annabelles, I mean, who knows? Could be
It's
part 40
15th,
for all I know.
15th or something.
But yeah, Elaine and see, like, I would love for you to cover Ed and Lorraine Warren.
I am.
Yeah, because their story
Oh,
is just the
oh,
greatest.
I am. I've actually been to Ed Warren's gravesite.
Ah, cool.
We here we go again. Me and Aubrey. We we found it in Monroe, Connecticut.
Oh wow,
And I
it's so
left a
pretty up
tiger's
there.
eye. I left
So
a tiger's eye on his grave.
it's so pretty up that way too. I love Connecticut.
It is. It's very pretty.
Yeah, yeah.
So
So yeah, that was a good story. Like I
it was
am.
short and sweet, sorry, but
No, I mean there's.
there's not there's not a lot of information about it, honestly, but it's really spooky. And I'm
Yeah.
honestly shocked that people haven't done more shows on it. Like there's no documentaries on it.
I
There's no like Ghost Adventures hasn't been there. Like Portals that like I said, Portals to Hell is the only place that's actually been there. Um Trying to find ghost stories about it was actually really hard.
Yeah. No, I mean I get it. Like it's maybe they're just trying to preserve some like you know how like a lot of places when they have their ghost stories and they don't want people coming in and being like, "Oh man, this place ain't as haunted as it." Yeah.
Yes. And I've already picked out what I'm doing for my next topic. And I'm so excited.
Yeah, I've got mine picked out and it's not what you think it was. Like I started doing that one and I'm like, this is gonna take forever.
Oh, mine's gonna take the whole 2 weeks, but it's fine. I already know
Yeah.
most of it. I already know most of it.
Well, I decided to do something a little bit different. I went through and was looking at Rolling Stone magazine had an article on the 10 uh I wouldn't say unknown, but they're known, but 10 serial killers who don't have as much recognition.
Mhm.
And I found this story about a woman in Texas known as the Angel of Death.
Oh, I might know her.
Yeah, so that's what my story is going to be on next week. There's a lot of information that I've been finding. She was on a show, and like I said, I'll get into it next week, but it's just, some people kill because they just want to kill. Some people kill because, they find this urge to do so. Hers is it's a little strange. Like I mean, I've seen her type before, but not like this. It was just I don't know. But anyway,
I have
I'll
to
get into
find
it.
this wrong. I made a whole list
I did too.
of topics I want to I want to do, and
Yeah,
my next one's on top of it
yeah,
is the
yeah.
very first one.
Well, the one that I mentioned to you, I'm still gonna do it, but I've got it kind of like, I'm doing this one first, but while I'm doing this one, I'm still researching
Yeah.
the original topic because I have so many comparisons of that story, and I'm so excited to get into that part of it. But
Oh,
anywho, so
mine's a
thank
haunted place.
yes, I love your haunted place stories. Those are my favorites.
You should know. You should know what this is. It's a haunted place.
Oh yeah, probably do. Probably do.
It's my haunted place.
You know that they just did an episode on Destination Fear.
Did they? Oh, I'm gonna go
Yeah,
watch it.
it's the first episode of this season.
Okay, I'm gonna go watch it because I watched the Missouri State Penitentiary one last night.
Let me tell you what made me mad about that. Okay, hold on. Before I know this is gonna be, everybody's gonna be like, "Oh my God, you guys never stop talking." But anyway, um, so do you remember the episode of Paranormal State when Ryan took the the team to Missouri State
Yes.
Penitentiary, and they were laughing and playing because they were like, "Oh, this place isn't that bad," blah blah blah, and he got mad, like he got big mad because
Yes.
they weren't taking it serious, and he was like, "Okay, well, let
Yes.
me show you what freaked me out the most," and so he takes them up to the warden quarters and shows them where like all like um the pentagrams and stuff were like drawn all over the walls and everything like that. And he's like, they did a lot of devil worshipping here, and I can't believe you're not taking this seriously.
Oh my God, yes. I remember getting so mad over that because I'm like, pentagrams aren't even devil worshipping.
Yeah.
They're protection.
And he was going off on them, and they were just like, dude, it ain't that serious. Come on now, and but here's the thing though. No, like I've seen several other ghost hunting shows, and they never talk about the warden's quarters anymore. So I was just like,
Oh yeah, no.
why did you guys talk about that? Like that was a
That's
big
true.
do. It's such
That's
a
true.
big
They didn't do it for Destination Fear either.
Yeah. So like I don't understand. Maybe they're like, okay, you cannot talk about this anymore because it's such a you know, a a a stain on our reputation. But
Such a touchy topic.
seriously though, if you look at like all the things that took place there, what difference does it make? Just add just a little bit of stuff to it. But I guess they're trying to stay away from the whole devil worshipping part about it. But I don't know. But
Anyway,
but yeah. So
tell them where
anywho,
they can find us.
yay! So you can find us on Instagram at Dark Podcast US. You can find us on Twitter at Dark Podcast US, Facebook, Dark Podcast US, and you can find us on our website at darkpodcastus.com. Also, we have some good news. We just got, finally, it took forever, but we're finally on Stitcher.
Yeah.
Whew. I didn't know. I was like, what in the world's taking so long? But yeah, they finally approved us, so we're finally on Stitcher. And you can pretty much find us anywhere that you can find a podcast. Also, I want to give a huge shout out to all of our listeners, guys. You guys have just been amazing. I
You
couldn't
guys have
believe
been
it.
rocking it.
Yeah, like I was sitting there looking at our analytics the other day, and I was just in shock. I was in shock and awe over it that we're 3 episodes in, we've gotten close to 2,000 listeners, listens on all of our episodes, and that in itself is just absolutely amazing.
Insane.
Yeah, like I look at these and it's just constant, and so just to let you know, also because we kind of like looking at this stuff, um, Houston, Charlotte got beat out. In our
Yes, they
top
did.
cities, London. What's going on, London?
What up?
Like, hi.
Hi. How are you?
That to me just made me so happy. I was like, okay, that's kind of cool that we've got listeners across the pond. We got
Yeah.
people, in Australia too, which that just blows my mind. So that
In
was really, really cool.
India,
India, United Kingdom,
it's
Canada.
craziness.
Like, I love Canada. I do.
Oh, Canada. I love
Well,
Germany. I
yeah,
love
they're
Germany.
they're actually on our list too. Like
I
they're in our top
know.
countries. Like that just
Hello, wie geht's?
and then like Ireland, Brazil, Japan, and Spain are our top 10 countries. So thank you so much to all of you guys for just, you know, hanging in there with us and listening. And we also got our first 5-star review on iTunes, which just
Yay!
that right there was
Keep
amazing.
the reviews coming. It'll make it
Ab-
easier for people to find us.
yes, please, please
I feel
do.
really weird begging for reviews because I promised to never be that person. But guess what? I'm that person.
Well, that too, and also,
Hit that like and subscribe button.
yes,
Sorry.
yes, that too as well. Anytime you follow us, like us, tweet us, okay, so here's one thing I wanted to bring up. Guys, we would really love to do a listener stories episode. And
Yes.
so our email is darkpodcastemail@gmail.com. Send them on over. Send us your stories, and we would love to be able to do a listeners episode. We're already getting into our 4th week. We're already a month in, so I would really like in the month of August for us to be able to do a listeners episode and share your stories because I love listening to those on other podcasts. They're just the greatest. People are so creative with their stories. So please
And
send
y'all
them
have been
over.
through some shit.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Like I
And I mean, we could talk about what we've been through, but it's nowhere near as much fun.
Exactly. Like we've got stories for days, but we'd love to
Ohio
tell your
State
stories.
Reformatory, I'm looking at you.
Oh yeah. So definitely send over your stories to us. Send us any like information that you'd like to share with us, questions, all that good stuff. We will be here to listen. And this will be coming up, this should be posted on Tuesday as normal for our people across the pond.
Which
That
is
being
my husband's birthday.
Oh, nice. Happy birthday
Happy
to
day
you,
to you.
Josh. Happy birthday, Josh. Um, yeah, so and our stepkids go back to school tomorrow, so
Oh, I still got weeks.
yeah, I just
I got
can't believe,
weeks.
can't believe summer's already almost over. Like that's but we're in the south, so technically summer isn't over for us until like December, so
Preach. It's like 95 degrees right now. It's hot.
I don't like it. Make it go away. I miss Pennsylvania weather.
Nope.
But
Nope.
it's so great up there. Miss that weather. But yeah, so guys, thank you so much again, and we will talk to you guys very, very soon. And as always, please remember to stay out of the dark.
Bye.
Bye.